The Golden State Warriors try to keep being the new San Antonio Spurs, where they want to keep having success for over 10 years. Though injuries keep getting in the way, players aging keeps getting in the way. But will the Golden State Warriors be able to recapture the glory, the magic that made them the most insane, one of the most dominant teams of all time? So let's talk about it. What to expect from the Golden State Warriors this year? Let me hear down below in the comment section before we start this video. Said that kind of weird. Start this video. What you think the Golden State Warriors are going to be this year? I do think they're going to be a playoff team. I do think they have all the pieces to do it. I don't know if they can make it to the finals. But let's talk about it. Klay Thompson. I hope he's doing fine. I really hope he has a quick and speedy recovery. But man, 2 years out of basketball. Is this the worst succession of injuries we've seen since John Wall? So, depending on how John Wall comes back will be, I feel like, a telltale sign. I know all players are different. I know some players play differently, and just their play styles matter on how they recover from injuries. But the last person we really saw was Wesley Matthews. We haven't seen how DeMarcus Cousins has came back yet. So, DeMarcus Cousins also had a similar line of injuries. I think reverse. Wasn't it Achilles tear? Then it was the torn ACL. So, I think if we see how DeMarcus Cousins play this year, will be another player we can see how he does. Same thing with John Wall, how he does. We saw Wesley Matthews is. He's not the same player, but he's almost there. He's like one of the players who's been the closest to getting it. If he could just get to 85% of who he was, I still think he's one of the most valuable players on this team. It just sucks to see what happened to him. I really do think Klay will be able to come back and still be a good player because he didn't super rely on his athleticism except on defense. So, and he wasn't ever the most athletic guy, so I think he'll still be able to play another 6 to 7 years in the league. Steph Curry. Look, last year he only played 5 games, and in those 5 games he scored 20 points, and he had 5 rebounds, 6.5 assists, 1 steal game. Well, Steph Curry, I think Steph Curry has no problem getting back to who he was. That's not a problem. You could tell me he shot terrible from 3. I don't even care. I think Steph Curry is going to come back and be one of the best versions of himself. I still think he's going to be a great player. I think he'll be able to lead this team to a playoff berth. And look, yeah, you can come at me with everything, but this man has only shot 40% in his career. Let's just call this season a wipe, and he's just going to come back and continue to average at least 25 points a game, popping trays, getting steals. That's one of the things. Him coming back and being able to bring his defense where, he's being a pickpocketer, and just his scoring will help this team tremendously. I really do think this team will make the playoffs without a concern. I think they really will make the playoffs. And you know what I love about Steph Curry is how he's going to help this next player we're going to talk about elevate his game. Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins. Is he going to be able to, be the player that we all thought he was going to be? As a Minnesota Timberwolves fan, I don't think he's going to be the Maple Jordan that we thought he was going to be. But look, as a Golden State Warriors, I think he showed us something that he could be. So let's talk about what he did in Golden State. 12 games. Okay, this is a 12-game sample size. 45% from the field, 33% from the 3. And then he was shooting 60% from free throw, but he was averaging 19 points. 19 points. Not terrible. It's not anything we're going to say oh my God, he averaged 19 points. Ooh, okay? And his PER was about 16. Tied for the 89th in the league. But what I like to say is if he can get back that three-point shot at least 35% what it was in the 3rd season, I think this guy could take up Klay's role as the defensive player if they can get him to be the defensive guy. Because, look, he was getting 1.3 steals a game and 1.4 blocks a game as a Golden State Warrior. So if he can do that again for a whole season, which I know is hard, at least if he can get 1 and 1 or have 1.5 steals and 1 block a game, ooh, that'd be so nice from Andrew Wiggins. And if you can get that 3% up to 35% and still give us 19 points, 20 points a game, I think that would help. I think he could really do a great job filling in the role of that Klay Thompson, the void that Klay Thompson filled. And I think Steph Curry being there is going to enable that to happen. He's going to be the one who's going to help him happen. Having him there, being able to play and do his things will help Andrew Wiggins open up the game and be more of a versatile scorer, probably be the best version of himself that we've ever seen. James Wiseman, will he start? I don't think he should. You're going to be what? The 3rd pick isn't going to start for this team? Well, I've heard multiple Golden State Warriors fan, they really like their center positions with the fact that they have Marquise Chris and Kevon Looney under contract, which I agree. If I had both of those guys, Marquise Chris and Kevon Looney under contract, and then you have Draymond Green. So don't make James Wiseman feel like he needs to be like fulfill expectations of the first season. Let's have him be there first season. Let's have Draymond Green, Kevon Looney, and Marquise Chris teach him how to play the game, how to be an NBA player, how to build your muscle, how to get better, okay? Because I think his floor is a Hassan Whiteside with a jump shot. His ceiling is literally being contract, like not, I guess like kind of like contract year Hassan Whiteside every single game of the year while having a 3-point shot. I think he has that like build in the block shotting ability. I don't know why that was so hard. But yeah, Marquise Chris, Kevon Looney, and Draymond Green are going to really help him and mold him into the player that they want him to be. Question is Draymond going to want to do that? I really do think Draymond's going to want to do that. I know people talk shit about him all the time, but I really do like Draymond Green. I do think he's going to be a vital part in this process. And this will make him come off of the bench, be an effective player off the bench. Once they feel comfortable, maybe by the end of the season, he's starting. But this way, he might not even start his whole first season. He'll start some games, but in the majority, like if they made the playoffs, he wouldn't be the starter unless he's like thriving and he's doing a phenomenal job, which I wouldn't be surprised if he did. But if he doesn't, you have a guy right there who can be a really good player off the bench. And then eventually, once those contracts expire, you can move him next year, start his sophomore season as a starting player for all 82 games. What is Draymond Green at this point in his career? What is he? Like, is he going to still come back and have a better season than he did last year? Which, I really hope, because, I've always been a fan of Draymond. Draymond last year only played 43 games. He had about a 12.5 PER, 6.2 assists, 6.2 rebounds, 8 points a game. Yeah, the assists are still there, which is a good sign. He only played 43 games, which I know it was a hyphenated season, 28 minutes per game, which is the lowest since his second season in the league. And his 3-ball was 27, which is a continued decline. He hasn't been eclipsed at least 33% since the 2015-2016 season where he shot 38%. And back-to-back years, he hasn't broken double-digit point scoring as an average, which this year he should have at least because there wasn't anybody there. Yeah, his assists continue to go down. I feel like this is the last year we're going to see like peak Draymond. I think this year he might go back to his 2017-2018 numbers of 11 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists with a block and a steal, like one block and a half a game and 1 steal and a half a game, while shooting like 45% from floor. I do see him doing that this year, but that being the last year, that's all. And I know there's grumblings like he won't train James Wiseman. I do believe he'll train Wiseman. He'll help him out. I don't even know if Nico Mannion's really going to get any meaningful playing time. He probably will because this is Golden State Warriors, and they do a good job of like including everyone and giving everyone playing minutes, even the young guys. So if we look around, Kai Bowman's gone. He played a majority of the minutes. I do see Nico Mannion coming in here and playing a decent amount of minutes off the bench. I could see him, putting up similar stats. Like he's going to put up probably, 9 points a game, nothing special, maybe 8 points a game. But I do see him putting up like 4 or 5 assists, depending if he can get like 20 minutes a game. If he gets like 18, I could see him dishing out like 4, like shooting like 6 points, 7 points, 4 assists, maybe. Like, depends on how much playing time. But I know his stock fell, but I do think he's a good player. So let me know down below what you guys thought of this video. What do you think of the Golden State Warriors? I think they'll make the playoffs. Regardless of that, I think a lot of players will break out this year for them. Let me know what you guys thought about this video. As always, guys, I hope you guys have a great day, because I know I will. So anyways, guys, peace out.